Hello guys, it's Everyday John and I'm back with a new series. Yes, the one thing that you have most waited, the podcast is here and I'm here with two amazing friends that decided to come with this journey. So, yes, my first guest is Skaldera.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Yay! And my second guest is the British guy that you all love.
Beep boop. Hello. Beep.
Oh my god. Oh, yes, I invited him to be on the podcast
Why, John? Why did you invite me? I only insult you.
because you are British and people like British
Wow.
people.
Got
Wow, I
got to
don't
get
know
that
if
audience.
that's racist.
No, it's just it's pandering. It's a little pandering.
See, this is that word. I will Google that word next. Okay, so, but okay, let's begin this. So, guys, please tell a little bit about yourselves to our viewers to know you and how they can find you.
Okay. I'm Skaldera. Hello again. I do Let's Plays, vlogs, and challenges here and there on my own YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Skaldera. And yeah, I yell at things.
And don't forget the Twitch that you begin
Oh yes.
recently.
Also, I I always forget about that.
Don't
It's going to take
worry.
me a while to get used to that. I'm also on Twitch at twitch.tv Skaldera. Big surprise. It's easy to get a name when no one else uses it.
And you, Droid, where are you?
Hello, everyone. I am the Learning Droid or the Gaming Droid, depending on what you want to watch. On the Learning Droid, I do vlogs, pyrographic art, British Sign Language, help and advice videos, things like that. On the Gaming Droid, I do Let's Plays, first look ats, impression series, and a couple of sort of joint collab series where we just play games and have a chat. You can find me at YouTube/The Learning Droid or at YouTube/ The Gaming Droid 9000. Yes, because when you are the Gaming Droid, there are 8,999 people who chose that name before you.
I understand that. There are so many everyday Johns. I thought I was being clever, but no. Jesus Christ. Oh. So, guys, this podcast is going to be about talking about games, consoles, movies, things that are relative this week, the next week, and because the new console is going to be relative because, of course, I'm talking new console because I think everyone knows that console. That console is going to be the new Nintendo Switch. Yes, that console is going to be live on January 12th for the first time in Tokyo. So, I would like to ask to my two guests, what are your thoughts on this new console? That yeah.
Personally, I think it is a much better departure away from the Wii style and into its own kind of system. The issue that Wii U had was it really didn't do a good job of explaining how it was different than the Wii. You got this new pad that you're still doing motion controls with. People didn't understand it. It didn't hit well, and then on top of that, the software forced a lot of design decisions to incorporate the secondary screen, making it harder for third parties. So, I mean, overall, that's why the Wii kind of fell apart, but the Switch is literally just a console. It's a travelable console with a screen built in that you can use just to play games. There's no gimmick with that. The gimmick is it's just portable, which is awesome. So I think it'll do well. They have a good lineup, and it feels a lot more fleshed out off the gate than the Wii U does, or did.
Yeah, I can kind of agree. I like the fact that they've pulled back on the motion controls because it seems more like a console for console gamers. Now, one of the things I hate saying that is when I was a kid, console gamers were something entirely different. I was a console gamer at the age of 5 or 6, and that was what console gamers were. I hate the fact that now all console gamers are 21-year-olds who play Call of Duty, but at the same time, it's more of a hardcore console thing. There's less focus on motion controls. There's more focus on being able to play your games. However, I have to say, personal opinions on it, I don't like it because
Ah,
there's too much gimmickry in, like, oh, you slot the controller sides onto the side of this screen and then pull it out the top and look, you've got a port, and it's like, really, how's that going to survive in a real world environment where you've got your 5-year-old niece who comes over and tries to pull it off because she's seen you take it off the side of the controller, and she tries to pull it off and the connections get damaged, or and that little screen in the little box, it just seems so much like it's an accident or a damage, or it seems so gimmicky that they've put it in a situation where it's going to be an expensive piece of kit that can easily get broken.
yeah, but do you think that uh, uh, this new console is going to be for children that age?
Well, you also
Like,
have to remember too, with that kind of console as well. Like you had the same issue with the Wii U with that pad being able to be damaged. I mean, you could have your 3-year-old niece decide, "Oh, I see you touching stuff to make it work," and then like not get a reaction, so she hits it harder and harder, and then damages the
That's a fair
resolution.
point.
Same thing with the
That's a
Wii
fair
U
point.
controllers. They're still or the original Wii controllers. They're still fairly sensitive. I've also seen young children chuck them because they didn't put the strap on.
Oh, I've seen 40-year-olds
Yeah.
chuck them because they
Yeah,
didn't put the
I've
strap
oh
on
seen
it.
my
people
Yeah.
god.
take out TVs because they can't put the strap on. Like the thing is you can't make everything completely foolproof. Kids are going to damage any hardware. I've had so many controllers destroyed by family members and friends, kids. It happens. The thing with
It's
the
true.
and the one point I'll agree with you on is right now I'm hoping they come out with like some sort of like cover or thing you can put over like a shield, because it does seem very flimsy in the mobile state, like from what they've shown. That's my biggest concern. Traveling, it feels like a less safe tablet.
Mm,
But we'll see. We'll see how it's built, and that until we can see it, I can't make 100% judge. So we'll see it here in a
uh,
couple days at the show, and we'll finally get a real look that's not just the commercial. But I have high hopes for it, for the simple fact of it'll be easier for third parties to get invested into the system and hopefully breathe some life into it alongside an actual lineup instead of it just being a Mario game.
but
And that was
but
it
Mario
with the Wii U.
games are the heart of Nintendo. Do you have
And I
something
like
against
them.
Mario?
I have nothing against Mario games. The problem was the Wii U literally had the Mario U, Zombie U, and Monster Hunter. I bought the game because of
And
Monster Hunter. The problem is then you went like 6 months without anything.
and even with the classic controller, a lot of
Games were locked out.
in-house and third-party developers were crowbarred into including motion controls that weren't necessary and weren't good for the games they were put into. A lot of
Yeah.
the more hardcore style games were ruined by their motion controls
And
on the Wii because they had to have them.
and same thing with the Wii U is forcing the use of the second screen. And also the fact that the hardware was barely an upgrade from the Wii made it a dated system. This one's going to be a lot closer. So what I've understood from the hardware, it's still not as far ahead as the PS4 and the Xbox One, but it's
Oh.
significantly better. There's a much less gap, essentially. So we'll see some games be able to be ported over with a most likely minor graphical change. But I'm hoping for just for the simple fact of it'll make those parties that really do give you the lifeblood in between exclusive releases to keep the system going. Because I mean, I barely played my Wii U until like mid last year after I bought it. Like I played 3 Ultimate. Then when that community kind of died out because of the new game came out for just the 3DS, I had really no reason to play. Splatoon gave me a reason, but that was like 6 months after I stopped playing it. Then I played that for a while. Then I stopped playing it. Like that was the issue with the Wii U. There was just too many gaps with new games without a third party support, and it's just in general it feels like Nintendo dropped the ball completely on the system.
Wii U, I think it was a thing that they created for parties and to never be used again. So and people, I never liked Wii, any type of Wii, because I saw it's too much moving, and no, I don't like to move, so no, I never.
I like to congeal in my chair and click buttons. I don't feel like
Exactly.
doing exercise. Exercise disgusts me.
Ah,
Vile.
Jesus,
Oh,
I
Lord.
never went to those parts, but Yeah, I kind
Physical
of.
movement.
I agree. I agree with those arguments. But you said that you like Monster Hunter, and I know you, and you like big games, like big story games, and I also know Droid that likes big story games, games that you need to do a lot to accomplish things. And I have a question: is that do you fear that the Nintendo Switch will not have the capability? Oh god damn it! To handle those games like battery life
I
and
actually fully believe it will because it's still the thing is with even though it is a portable system, I'm not buying the Switch just for the portable system. I'm buying it for as a console that has the ability to be portable. I don't think it's much different than doing the remote play on the PS4 right now either. And I've done that a few times. It's a pretty good system. And sure, it drains the battery of whatever you're using, but I mean that's the gamble. I expect the battery, if it's even going to match the Wii U's controller for battery life,
hmm,
um, if I even get 4 to 6 hours, I would feel that's okay. Um,
So, it's one of these things where like there's a toss up between it, isn't it? Because like as far as dealing with those big heavy duty games, like a console's never going to deal with it the same as a maxed out rig PC.
exactly.
It's never going to be able to do that. So even if we're talking about when you're dealing with it in a handheld format, it downscales it slightly from 1080p high definition to 720 high definition so that it can run it better. Is that really going to bother console gamers and people using the handheld? Because like at the moment, like even nowadays, handheld gaming is still, we're talking about 6-inch tablet gaming.
Yeah. I mean, you even have like
So
3DS, which is the most popular portable gaming, and that thing is like at 480p. Like,
yeah,
and it doesn't, like, the content of the game itself, even downscaled, like, visually, sure, it's not going to be amazingly pretty, but it's still going to be nice. And more important, I'm sure the structure and how the system's designed will be able to handle those games, and they will think the forethought. Because you have to remember too is a lot of those games that I'm excited for, like Monster Hunter, for example. Sure, it's a big grand game, but it's still a section game where it can load by area. It's not going to be forcing the system to like churn out an entire map and keep it loaded in all at once. Now, Skyrim may be the problem on that one. That's the only one I was like, how are they going to pull this one off?
yeah, because
But we will see.
Skyrim is
Oh
one
yeah.
of my favorite games, and that's I ca- I
But at the
I'm
same
not
time,
seeing
I'm not
a
good. Sorry.
console, a small console, handle that game. I cannot see that. I need to
Yeah,
see my
no, I agree.
big dragons. So I don't believe in that thing to handle Skyrim. Mm,
But and the counterpoint there is like at that point I'd rather play Skyrim on the PC anyways because of mods. Like and like I would be buying the Switch for the games I know that are coming out. The games that from Capcom that they're going to support it with, from Square Enix that'll support the system. The sheer fact we know that several games that have never been ported to an actual console will be joining it, like Pokemon, like Splatoon's, like a lot of the good stuff's coming back, and it's like pretty much announcement, like release titles, ones that are coming within the first 2 months of it coming out, which is far more appetizing than like the paltry three things you got with the Wii U.
that's true.
Wii U.
As we go to sort of like that as well, talking about the battery, you mentioned the Wii U's controller's battery. Didn't the Wii U controller battery actually get switched out partway through because of its paltry survival
Yes,
time? Like they
the
actually,
newer ones, the newer, if you buy a new one, it has like an 8 hour battery now, which again is
yeah,
just how consoles like battery technology for like the lithium, the rechargeable ones for those kind of tools have
it's true.
improved over the years. So like I'm glad they did the upgrade, and hopefully that speaks. We may see a much better battery life than what my bare minimums are hopeful. If they can do 6 hours, I'd be impressed. If it can do decent quality.
So again, like we're talking about a decent amount of battery time, and the thing is, like the big hoo ha that was made on a lot of websites was about not being able to take the battery out, like users can't access the battery. My first thought when I saw those headlines on several gaming websites was, what handheld thing can you take the batteries out of
I
right now?
don't know.
Like your phone, your tablet. your electric toothbrush. Like, what can you take batteries out of? Because I can't take batteries out of anything apart from my nose hair trimmer.
Yeah, I mean,
So
that's what does it. Like, I can take it on my camera, but that's a whole different tool. Like my 3DS, no, it's like behind the back plate. I'm not going to take out a screwdriver,
Oh, yeah.
tug out, and then unhook the freaking battery from the back, unscrew that too, then place a new one and screw that. Like, no, I'm just going to charge it, or wait till I get a chance to go home after it's dead and charge it. Like, I'm not going to actively try to replace the fucking battery mid-flight.
Oh.
Also, the sheer fact too is the batteries for these systems, if they're damaged, they're dangerous.
yes,
And
because
so,
they contain nasty acid systems.
yep. And lithium batteries. Oh god, let's not even talk about those.
Oh Jesus, this is.
But that is the reason why I don't see an issue with it. And if it's 6 to
Again,
8 hours, I
Used to.
like.
It's part of today. It's
Yeah.
part of the technology today. And as part of the technology today, like there are things that we've done to deal with that with our tablets and our phones. You have the charger packs,
Mhm.
you have the clip-on packs, you have the cases that have charger
Yeah,
connections. in
and
them.
that was.
As long as this thing, go
Oh,
ahead, John.
sorry. I was going to say that was one of the things that I was thinking. Do you think they will not stand the battery life just to make more coin? Doing those stuffs that you were going to say.
Well, I'm assuming the system's gonna have like a USB 3.0 or a micro USB connector, like most every other system in existence, to charge it. Or you can buy an adapter, and we can just plug in a freaking charge back. Like that's what I do with my 3DS. Is I have a charge back. If I'm out, I'll slap that and hook it up. Like,
I would say that they're probably not going to intentionally nerf the battery life in the hopes of selling charge packs or on the go chargers for it, because if they do nerf the battery life, people will know. Like, there's plenty of gamers who will be interested in the system who know their electrical engineering inside and out, and will intentionally take the thing apart to see how much space they had to put a battery and what kind of battery they put in there.
yep.
And they will rip them to pieces if they intentionally put in a half size or a reduced capacity battery, just because they can then sell chargers. The only concern I have is if they decide to go with a proprietary connector, like a proprietary dock station connector, then there's going to be proprietary charge packs for it.
Oh, yeah. No, because was a thing that I was going in my head, because this is not the first time. I'm not saying it was Nintendo, but cell phones nowadays, some cell phones company do this. They reduce the capacity. Oh my god, the battery of a cell phone to sell more chargers or to sell a new phone. So that was I was thinking on that. So that's why I asked, because a new console, it's people have so much expectations and they go, oh, this is so cool, and they forget about the little stuff that really matter. So I wanted to know, how do you feel about this particular
I think
thing?
there's more of a hardcore. I think there's more of a hardcore community around console gaming though, and there's enough people who mod every console that comes off the market. Like with phones, there's very few people who rip their phone apart and mod their phone. The number of people who rip apart PlayStations, rip
There's
apart
a lot.
Xboxes. So there's a lot more people who will actively rip it apart, and if they find out it's got a reduced size battery, a reduced capacity battery, they'll be happy to go to Konami or
Hey, you
Game Reveal or
bitch.
stuff.
This is not this is this battery
Wait,
is not
Konami?
good.
Wait. I'm confused now. Good. I know what you meant. I'm just screwing with you. Just like fuck Konami. Hashtag fuck Konami. Anyways,
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Poor Kanabi.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, you mentioned, oh my god, way back that you would like to see some games that are going to come out, and it's a new console. There are going to be some games that are going to be exclusive just for the Switch. And because you two are way older than me and older gamers, like,
thanks for making me feel better, John.
uh,
You
sorry.
decrepit old man.
Oh, You are not so old, but you are old enough. So.
Ow!
Ooh,
Oh,
right in the
Okay,
heart.
okay, I'm
oh,
Oh,
just
John,
going
you
to.
wound me.
oh.
You
Okay,
wound me.
okay, I'm going to answer. I'm going to do the question and shut up for now because I cannot save me. So my question was, how do you feel about these specific games, these consoles-only games? How do you feel they are going to be seen in the market?
We've always had consoles exclusive. Like it's an accepted thing with PS4 with Xbox. The only advantage is like anything that is a Windows exclusive for Xbox usually ends up being a PC exclusive as well. So it nullifies that out. Nintendo's also always been an exclusive console. So I don't see an issue with it. It's just the nature of the systems, and
Hmm.
nowadays, especially with capture cards and all that, and remote play and all that, it's easier and easier to be able to play them still at your computer or just conglomerate them together well enough. But
Yeah. It's also, as you mentioned, Skaldera, like a lot of the exclusives for Xbox end up on PC anyway, because it's actually exclusive to Microsoft, not exclusive to Xbox.
exactly,
Um, and in just the same way, a lot of third-party games that start out as exclusives on the other consoles, whether it's PlayStation or Nintendo, those exclusivity deals only have a certain lifespan. And to be perfectly fair, if you can't afford a console and the fact that it's an exclusive upsets you, as long as it's a third party exclusive, wait a couple of years.
yeah,
Because in all likelihood, it'll turn itself around and end up on PC when that exclusivity deal runs out. As to the exclusive stuff that's just going to be on the Switch, Dungeon of Tsar, Sacred Hero, Tank It, I can't see anything there that I would personally be running out and buying a Switch to get.
yeah. I mean, it like for the first party stuff, of course. If you like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Pokemon, Splatoon, yeah, you're gonna go for it. Capcom stuff as well, but like the straight third party stuff they've announced, it's one of those things of, eh. But that's usually
Okay.
what's not that those third party exclusives are not usually what drive the system. I mean, for example, PS4, Bloodborne, Uncharted. God, what else was there? Like those are the exclusives that make that, like The Last of Us, that make them sell systems. Like those
That's true.
big ones that they've supported. And that's just one simple fact of I bought my PS4 because they had several good games, like Uncharted, all that, and then Bloodborne because I'm such a big fan of Dark Souls. I wanted to play Bloodborne, and I usually have a good. I've had always good experiences with Nintendo and Sony products, so I have no issue with supporting them as a console, and because they do get exclusives. And again, it comes back full circle to the Xbox side, where if I want to support them, I can just buy the games on PC.
But here's a question for you then. Are there any exclusive Nintendo franchises like Legend of Zelda games, Pokemon games, Mario games that are exclusive to the Switch? Because I haven't found any. Like the most sort of the flag title they're using is Legend of Zelda Breath of Wind, or sorry, Breath of Wild. But that's not a Switch exclusive. That's a Nintendo exclusive. It's actually appearing on two Nintendo consoles.
Yes. Well, right now, from what I've understood, is there will be a Pokemon game on the console itself within the first 2 months. They should be announcing it
Hmm.
here
I still
very soon.
cannot see how they are going to do that. It probably will be a remake. Remake?
Then you
What?
also have,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Probably going to be a Game Boy Pokemon game or.
From what I've understood, it's a upscaled, like it's going to be graphically HD. Basically, they're going to be updating the graphics and quality of the sprites and all that, and then probably adding additional content to that version. It's basically Sun and Moon. It's the third version of Sun and Moon. Instead of it being on 3DS, it's on that, which also speaks to the direction they may be also slowly putting the 3DS to the end of its line and trying to consolidate everything into the Switch and moving forward with that kind of design.
I hope they don't do
Then
that
we also have
because
Splatoon, which sure is not technically exclusive since it's also on there, but it's a revised Splatoon with more content, more support, and there is a very big competitive field with that. Like it's a very popular game, and they'll be bringing that over. And then you also, of course, have the Capcom Monster Hunter exclusive, which you probably won't see until June or so. But it's coming, and that was a big driver of Wii U initially was 3U because honestly, Monster Hunter is the fucking blast to play on the couch. It's such it wants epicness.
Go get it. Go get it. Monster Hunter. Go get it. Hey, I need to make coin, okay? Like internal, now on phones. Google Play.
Oh my god.
The great thing is he's not actually getting paid to advertise any of that shit.
Yep.
I will one day, okay? I just need to believe. Oh, but talking about games, in January are going to make some are games that are going to come out, some that we know, some that we don't know. I would say just talk about the games that you are most hyped about, because on this week, one game just came out. It was uh, Milky Maid of the Milky Way. It's kind of a story game. I think you droid would like that because I think it's your style. I think it's probably not, but I never know. You like random stuff, so yeah. But all of the games of January, what are that game that you want that you will be playing like no tomorrow?
I'm very excited for Resident Evil 7, mainly because it seems to be a transition back to survival horror roots instead of the shoot 'em up the series has become after 4. Like 5 and 6 were very bland and took away a lot of these survival horror aspects and put in more action horror. And even then, it's not really horror. It's just scary things. Let's shoot them up with machine guns and run around. Like there's no. It lost a lot of what made Resident Evil scary. Was the tenseness, was the just shocking moments, and it's just in horror in general. Like it's that I'm very excited for that. I know there's a couple more horror games. Outlast 2 is a big one. I'm super excited for as well.
Oh, I played the demo. It was scary.
So
It was very
I've got
scary.
a question for both of you actually. With just
What?
side topic quickly regarding horror games. That's just Skaldera
Oh
was
my God.
tweaking on slightly.
Tweaking. Okay.
How dare you?
Yeah, you tweak the horror
This
games.
is my
But-
podcast. You cannot do this. Oh my god.
John, shush! I'm taking over. Slap.
He is. You were right. You do insult him.
Yes, I do. So when it comes to things like you were saying, the Resident Evil, it kind of lost its horror about episode 4 roughly. Lost its horror, became a shooter game. Is it the fact that at some point horror games started to ape shooter games just because there wasn't the audience for it? There wasn't the audience for the actual true horror, because true horror takes a very careful hand of creating a build-up of tension and then a tension release. It's a kind of almost like a book writing cycle of there has to be a build, and then there has to be a kind of a plateau that's held, and then there has to be a result of it. And that slow build just doesn't fit into a lot of video games because there isn't. It takes too long. An example of a good recent horror game is actually Spooky's Mansion. It just leaves you waiting for so long that there are some people who left the game before anything happened because they didn't know that there was anything going to happen. They left before the game actually got started.
Yeah.
No, and that is a viable response. I think it has to do with like for a while there, like I want to say like 2006 or 7 to about 2012 almost. Like there was a very big gap in horror in general. The genre kind of died almost is the best way to describe it. I'm sure there was the occasional game. It's just the problem is like it reached the point where graphics and game quality, as well as the requirement to up the quality of the scare, outpaced the ability of I don't know like the bigger companies. It's hard to describe, or we just lost interest in them because I really can't pick like until Amnesia, until Penumbra. There was really like this giant gap that I like after 4 that was left.
Yeah, because I don't like horror games. I despise them. They should never
But you like
exist.
watching people resort.
That's different. because I enjoy that. I don't like to wait to see that scary things to pop out and destroy my heart. And Resident Evil, like you said, before 4, I could never play, but after 4, I can play. Because when I say I'm scared, I'm really scared. I cannot play nothing that is horror because I don't enjoy them, okay? So, yeah,
That's fine.
I don't like them. But Resident Evil I could play, and saying that just shows that it shows that the game lost the horror factor. But now I think we are recovering that factor with uh, Aria something. Yes, that game,
Aria. Yeah, Aria.
the
No, wait.
Thailand game that come out come out, and
Yeah.
new games that are going to come out like Outlast 2 and more. I think we now understand what is horror. Horror is not just a scare, just boo. No,
Well, I
it's
mean, it's been
tension
improving
and
since Amnesia brought it back too. Like, and indie games especially have been like very very indie games, like Aria, for example, like some of those smaller ones, like even Tattletale. These tiny studios are starting to understand the formula and understanding what makes the game good, and so they're focusing on the design and not just the ooh jump scare gonna get you, because that's how a lot of early horror after Amnesia and Penumbra and all those games came out. Is sure the ones that understood it still did amazing, but then you have this giant chunk of horror that's really just getting you on the jump scare of loud noise, and it really
yeah.
doesn't like
Yes.
sound design is such a giant point of horror as well, and I like Arya, but there are several points, at least every other episode I've done so far, that the sound design is just a little too off, that it makes me lose like all tenseness. Like example, the first episode, the gecko that was just like bah, bah. Yeah, I'm just like, why are you so loud, Willow One? This is not
Oh,
how you sound.
but I
And then
think sorry
the
to
positioning for the
interrupt.
ringing, like they just and it's just one of those things you're going to see in any indie game, and it's very hard to design audio exactly. Uh,
But
like
one thing that I wanted to say is that thing that it. I think it's something important in Thailand um, culture, because in the new game that I don't remember, stay
Notes of
safe at
Deception.
home on or
Oh yeah, that
something.
one.
Uh,
The one you showed me, yeah, Sweet Home or
yes,
whatever.
yes, the that same sound happens again. So I think it's something about their culture. So I think it was on purpose that they did that. It was funny,
Okay,
but they should have done a little bit better. Not like uh,
Well,
uh.
this is oddly enough a random bit of information I actually do have to share with you guys.
Oh,
Um, there is a species of gecko in Thailand called the house gecko, and it's roughly about the size of your hand, and it
Jesus.
is the noisiest fucker in the world. It it sounds ridiculously loud in real life. It's insane.
uh,
They're also called tokay geckos, um,
okay.
and they are insanely loud.
uh,
For some reason, they're like pets at times, hence hence the term house gecko. But they're uh, really really loud geckos. As to kind of like games that I'm interested in coming up in this month, I don't like remakes. I normally think of a remake where you're paying full price for basically a HD upscale is a bad thing, but Constructor HD, I spent a couple of hundred hours on Constructor when I was a kid, and they're bringing it back out in HD so that it will play on modern systems, and it's like,
Oh, very nice.
I'm gonna have to buy it again because I spent like hundreds of hours on that when I was a child, and they're bringing it out in HD.
get it, get it, get it,
Other than
constructor.
that, there's some nice RPGs coming out. There's things like Dragon Quest 8. You've got Italia Shali, which is a Japanese RPG, which I'm looking at as something else. Other than that, like, there's not a huge amount that I'm sort of ecstatic about.
Mm.
I personally think that there's a few series coming out this month that have kind of seen their peaks and are kind of dying off now and should be left to go their dead
Oh.
way.
Hmm. Actually, I cannot wait to see the new Digimon World next order.
That would be really
My
cool.
God, so many hours. Jesus Christ. I will not play it, but I will see it because I'm
Mm.
poor and don't have the coin. Internal needs to pay me, but okay. So
Don't you mean Eternal now on Google Play?
exactly. Don't steal my job. Okay, I need it. So I cannot wait to see it to see that Digimon game because Digimon games actually are super good. They are
They are
amazingly
surprisingly
done.
deep.
Yes. The question about that, like, one of the things a lot of people love about the Digimon games is the depth, and not only the depth of story, but the depth of gameplay. So the new Digimon game has an AI battle system where the control is much more limited, and you give strategic commands which your Digimon then interprets based upon like what kind of Digimon it is. Like, personally, I don't like that, but like, is that something you're looking like your
What?
Digimon having a basically a mind of their own?
It's Digimon.
Um,
It's Digimon.
God. I'm conflicted. Like, I do like the idea of it encourages a lot more breeding and then looking for the right personality types that will cohesively work together.
Mm.
And making sure that they'll respond correctly, same thing, and then encouraging you to engage and make sure to keep their happiness and loyalty up if those are systems in it. Same time, though, I'm still someone who likes traditional RPG rules and like telling when I say to do this, do this. But I've also
Oh.
played
Yes.
Yokai Watch, which does the free form a lot better because they at least roughly follow directions. More importantly, you have a lot more control because you're able to shift the parties quicker. Whatever the ultimates in there are usually AOE effects or AOE buffs, AOE damage, AOE debuffs, which allow you control there. Because like one of the things I did was when I played the original Yokai was would do debuff into group buff into the damage ability shift and just keep shifting around because you have six but only three can be out at the same time, so it let you have a lot more control, and certain ones would prioritize certain things. Like if there was a healer, it usually would try to heal over attacking. It just depends on how intuitive these AI are. If it's just going to be I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want, I am going to probably not enjoy that much.
I don't think they will do that. I think you will be still in control of the Digimon. But I like that thing that they have their mind, uh, kind of a mind, because it's Digimon. Digimon is so different from Pokemon because Pokemon you can control the creature, no doubt.
Yes.
Digimon it's about more relationship, it's about friendship, and it's Digimon is not a creature that you control. It's your friend. So I like that. It's a thing that I like, and I support that they still do that. They don't just say, "Oh, here, have a Digimon," and you make him do whatever you like. Don't take care of him. Screw him. Do whatever you like.
Whoa,
Just
whoa! Let's not get into that kind of territory.
what territory?
Digimon sexuality.
Ugh,
Screw him.
What?
ugh, ugh.
This is what happened when I talk to older people.
Oh,
Uh,
ouch!
uh,
Back to the age stabs.
What?
Nice,
What?
nice.
What? Me? No.
Thinking about like games like Digimon, and this is one of these terrible things where my brain has thrown up something and I just can't remember the name. One of you two might. Back on PlayStation, there was a game where you gathered monsters and crossbred them together.
Monster Rancher.
No, no, no. But
Um,
instead of having one monster out fighting for you, you actually had a ring of 8 monsters, and you rotated the ring so 3 monsters were facing the enemy at any one time.
Oh God.
um, hmm.
Was it Jade Cocoon?
I think it was Jade Cocoon. I still have that on the shelf.
Jesus.
It is a wonderful game because it gives you the tactical elements. Yes, it is Jade Cocoon. I just had a just looked it up. It is indeed Jade Cocoon. It's a great little RPG for anyone who wants to go back and look at a nice little monster-based RPG. Um, Jade Cocoon people, I know you've been out of business for 10 years, but pay me.
I never. Can you explain to me because I never saw that game?
Okay, so basically you had a ring of monsters with 3 monsters on each side, so the corners met. So you had 3 monsters, and if you rotated it, the corner monster from that side would be the corner monster from the next side. So basically, a bit like a keyboard with everything except the five, a number pad with everything except the five. You had a ring of monster spaces.
Huh.
You then had a fire side, an air side, an earth side, and a water side, and you placed monsters in depending on what element they were using. It depended on what they did. So one monster on the fire side might throw a punch, but on the water side might heal his companions. And you basically rotated it during battle to put the right monsters at the front to deal with what you were fighting. So you'd have the fire side forward to damage, then you'd spin them round to the earth side to defend yourself, and you'd be constantly switching round. It was another one where you didn't have direct control over your monsters. You just put different monsters in different spaces and had control of the ring during combat, and the combat was controlled by your monsters more than you.
Oh, I never saw this game. I don't even know how to write this name because every time I type that name, birds appear. Like, what? Why? Why? Why Google? Why you suck so much? Oh my
I'll drop the
god.
name for you in chat.
Okay, I will put a picture because I don't know if my people know that game. It's like an ancient game.
Yeah,
Ancient.
it's an ancient game back from the days when PlayStations didn't have a number after them.
Oh my god, like prehistoric times.
Yeah, we
Jesus.
used to play video games on the cave wall, and there just used to be two
Yep.
people standing either side of where you were looking, and they just used to change the cave painting for you.
Oh my god.
Loading took
How do-
forever.
Oh, Jesus.
God. Oh, bless.
Thanks for making me feel old, John.
You're, like I said, you are not old. I'm just too young.
Get off my podcast. Don't make me hit you with my stick.
Way too young to understand that reference. Way too young. Oh,
dear.
Jesus.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And that too. Okay, but so guys, this was the podcast. Yes, I said that we are going to talk about movies, but no movie happened in this short of time. Yes, we could talk about the Star Wars something something. I don't remember
Something,
the name.
something. Rogue One, yes.
Yeah, thank you. But I thought maybe not because it.
There was a great cry out as if all the Star Wars fans watching this podcast heard you say Star Wars something something and suddenly screamed.
Yep.
I didn't remember the name. Okay, it's just the thing. I cannot remember names. It's okay.
Ah, bless.
Oh, but I decided not. I will wait to see this year's movies. If there's nothing good or something that will be interest, I will just say series or other thing. If not, just games and relative stuff to us gamers. And yeah, I explained stuff so well. Don't you think, guys? Of course
Totally. Totally. Quality 10 out of 10.
He is making fun of me because I'm not so good with words.
John, you've done a fantastic job today.
He's
Don't.
lying. People,
I do
please.
not lie. I am a rambling bastard, but I do not lie.
No, I know. That's why I like you.
Oh.
So, people, uh, if you guys want to go to their channel and see them, the links are going to be down below, like I always do. You know where to find them on YouTube, Skaldera on YouTube, Twitch, and Droid in somewhere.
I don't matter.
Exactly.
I'm not relevant. Yay!
But I'm just joking. You guys know where to find him on the learning droid or the gaming droid. So please, guys, go and sub to them and watch everything they do because they are awesome and they are very good people.
Oh, thank you,
They
John.
they make me cry
Oh, wait.
of
Oh.
pain.
Cries of pain, yes.
So
Hey.
John, you're not supposed to talk about those sorts of
I'm
situations.
not
still
involved in that.
recording.
Podcast.
I'm still recording.
Not involved
Nah.
in that.
I'll put the riding crop away, John. Don't tell them about
I'm not involved in any of that, everybody.
Oh my god. So, but guys, thank you so much for being here for my first episode. And see you guys on the second episode. I will do
it. It was a pleasure.
It
the
was a
second
blast.
episode. Oh, I was talking. I wasn't talking to you guys. I was.
Oh, you're talking to the. Oh, right. We're not
Yeah.
allowed on the second episode.
Oh,
You're
yeah, I
talking to
forgot.
them. Ah, I see.
You're sick of us already. Okay.
Oh, fine,
Um,
fine. Love you too, John.
you will
By
be.
the way,
You
everyone-
will be on next episodes. Okay.
By the way, everyone watching, in the comments section, #awkwardjohn.
Yes, that has to happen. # awkward John. Make it happen. I will love you all forever.
Oh my god. Now I am having second thoughts about this. Jesus Christ. Okay, but I need to end this.
Then end it.
I'm trying.
End it with a kind of passion.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Go check them out. Please do that and goodbye. Yay.
Bye. Yeah.
money, 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 money.